Good morning, everyone. Had some really nice trades today. Really good Globex. Very decent stuff. How are we doing? Hola, Juan. What's up? Beautiful trading today, folks. Beautiful trading. Simple, simple stuff. Nothing complicated. Just really nice back and forth. You know, exactly what we want to see. Kevin, what's going on? Oh, boy. Let's see. What do we got? What are we going to do today now? Okay, I guess I should get to work, shouldn't I? Welcome, everyone. I'm JJ, vwaptrader1. This is the trading syndicate. Welcome to the folks who are joining us on YouTube and joining us in our trading room this morning. It is Wednesday the 11th as we rip through this month. And overnight inventory is short. Overnight inventory this morning is short. Now, a lot of people will be like, JJ, what the hell do you mean? Well, determining whether inventory is short or long is really a cool thing. You look at the previous day's close, and the TPO chart shows you that 70% of the time and volume are underneath the close, so you're looking for a move up. Now, what's holding this market up at 67.65? There are unfilled buy orders in this green box. Who are the buyers here? These are people who are short from underneath 67.40. They're trying their bid to cover. So even though inventory is short and we're looking for a move up, the size trader in me is peaking. It's going, wait a minute. I want to see what's lurking down here in RTH. Yesterday, that was our low. That's the overnight low from Tuesday night. No, wait a minute. Monday night. And this is the Globex low. They're all at the same spot. So when you see three areas where that low is the same, right? When you see three areas of the same low, what happens if you break that low? Well, every time we came down here and came close, it just boom. You know, it hit hard. You know, we had a low of 64, 65 at a quarter, looked below and failed. Boom, right back up. We're at 67.80. You know, we went from 67 to 84 in a couple of minutes. So let's see what happens when we turn on the tap and RTH starts If we don't get under 67.65, your target is going to be 67.88 and then the close. Short-term targets. And if we get above yesterday's close, you're looking for the overnight high. Okay, if you're a short seller and we take out 65, you're looking for 35, right? Or 35 to 40. We're at the bottom. I'll give you a number in a second. Does that make sense? You guys get that? Does everybody understand the reasoning behind that? The reasoning is the bids under 65. If I'm a size buyer, and I've been a size buyer there since 2 days ago, right? And I would have shorted some more at 6,800, 6,810, 20. I'm going to be looking for covers. So say I'm short 5,000 contracts, and I've got bids under 65. 100 at every tick, 500 at every tick. If those bids don't get filled, I got to move the price of my buy orders up, right? If you want to buy something at 65 and nobody wants to sell it to you, what are you going to do? Okay? You got to move your bids up. But if you're bid 64 and it gets filled for 500 contracts, you're going to move the rest of your buy orders down because you know that there's a size seller. Okay? And that's what makes price go back and forth. Those size buyers are trying to get size sellers to puke out at the lowest prices. So let's go take a look. So today, folks, in the room at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, we're going to have an execution lab, an execution clinic. Right? What does that mean? That means we're going to talk about execution and the trouble people are having and how we fix it. So that's 11 o'clock today in the room. And folks, if you haven't come into our room on YouTube, Steve is offering a free trial for 3 days. Right. And if you sign up to our room, you get that, and you also get the AI trading coach. It's only $19 a month. We're not trying to gouge you. So let us see. That's that big box of shorts. This is all, these are shorts that are bid to cover. Support, my friends, is created by unfilled buy orders. So when the sellers come down there, they see all those buyers pushed up against the glass of the store, they raise price, and the buyers will pay more. So they'll only sell lower if they have to sell lower. Why? Because that's commerce. Now somebody said, well, JJ, why don't they just wait and cover cheaper? Well, that's great, but you're not the only one who's trying to cover a short. You got thousands of other people you're competing with, and you're trying to cover size. So you got to cover size where you can, not where you want to. And you don't really understand that until you start trading size. If I have to buy back 1,000 contracts, I'd love to buy them at 58. But what if there's nobody selling at 58? What are you going to do then? Oh. Excuse me. Had some really nice trading. I put a little position to here together. I didn't write up the trade because I was doing calls and stuff. There was a nice little position I put in together here and sold it up. That was a nice trade. Here, I missed this. This was a beautiful look below and fail of 67. All the way right back to 84. Big candles. You know, it is a speculator's market, my friends. Okay? So let's go and mark where the sellers are. Because if inventory is short and you're looking for a move back up, right, we're going to have sellers at 86. You know, there's going to be sellers just before 86, 83. You can see that there's a seller at 80 right now. Right? Very, very clear, very plain. Right? No big surprises. Okay? Oh. So when we open, we're going to expect a test of the overnight low. Right? I'll be on for about an hour and 15 minutes, and then I'll be back at 11. Okay. So now we're set, ready. So say you're short before the open. Right? If you're short before the open, your first target is 67.71. Right? Where that stop is, where the red line is. That's your first target. Second target will be the overnight low. Okay? What are the trades that you'd be looking at? You'd be a look below and fail of 67, a look below and go of 67, right? The thing is, once you get into this green box, we don't know. We're going to have to let the short sellers tell us what support is like. All right, so we're sitting and we're going to just be patient. We're going to be smart. Wait for the right trade, and then execute. So the execution lab that we're going to do at 11 o'clock. So a lot of people go, JJ, you do these YouTubes, they're free. Why don't I just do that instead of join the room? Well, you only get, you get me for a couple hours a day. I'm in the room all day talking to people. They're asking me questions. They're sending me ideas, and they're learning. So that's the difference. And then you get to go to these execution labs. I do Zooms throughout the day. And You know, the learning opportunity is so much better, and we get to interact that way, right? So that's what we do in the room. All right. So we're already getting. We see. You can see there's some bids, right? The bid was here on this first liquidation, right? We liquidated inventory down. The bid was here. And now on this liquidation down, you can see that there's buying here at 75. Retta. Can you please remind me how to add the total contract numbers for every price point? Oh, it's just at every tick. Is that Retta from Montreal? Can't be the same person. It's just every tick. The look below and fail of the overnight low is not a trade for beginners. Hey, c'est toi. Where you been, man? Holy Christ, I haven't talked to you in a year. Where you been hiding? Jeez. Send me a WhatsApp, fool. Where you been hiding out? No kidding. I knew this kid when he was a kid. Now he's an old man. You're 32 years old now. You're an old man. Holy cow. That's good to see you, brother. That's good to see you. Hey, Espil, what's going on? So we're starting to get that inventory correction up. You can see that there's been a seller here, here, here. This is our inventory starting out on the morning. So in a perfect world, we'd like to take this stuff and go sell it up here. Right? That's the dream. The dream is to get it over 86, go up to VWAP, and if we can get enough people trapped short, they're going to push price up to 67.96. So if you're building a long position here, you should be putting your sell orders out before VWAP. So when that push happens, you get filled. Right? So there's that seller at 84. Yep. Look at, you see the candles? Now I'm not a I'm not a candle pattern but look at the bottom of each candle is higher. Okay? That's a clear indication not to short a market. Right? That is the front end of a move. You never want to short the front end of a move. You want the move to go up and then do this, and that's where you put your short, that's where you put your stop. Now remember that we've been underneath VWAP and we've been underneath 84 now for a couple of hours. So we're going to have to do something with all this inventory. Right? We're going to have to go and try and sell it higher. Now let's see if the order flow, if the flow of customers allows that to happen. Let's go see what the cool kids are doing. NVIDIA 186. Right, so we're back in that 179, 196 balance. And there's sellers at 186. That's not a big surprise because we've got inventory trapped long above it, right? There's your inventory. Right, that's being absorbed here. So boom, boom, and hopefully back up here for the longs. Okay. Microsoft, look below and fail of 398. Now, if you're long Microsoft, you are going to have sellers here. Right, at 413 and change, you're going to have sellers. Right, very simple. Now, why are you going to have sellers there? Because size sellers, if they sold there before, they'll sell there again. So if you're long at 400, right, and you're a short-term trader, or you're trading options, those are the places where you're going to have resistance. Right? That's where you're going to have resistance. You're going to have resistance where there is inventory. If you don't know what inventory is, we need to make you go work in a grocery store for a week, then you'll know what inventory is. So those are the levels, right? This meta thing, it's in balance between 632 and 662. Let's see what the overlords at Goldman are doing. Yeah, look below and fail of 821. We'll see. There's inventory above us. Google, I wouldn't be interested until it looked underneath 290 and comes back up. What's the inventory? Pasta. Well, then she knows what inventory is, right? Amazon. Yeah. $195 to 219 worked. Right now, there's going to be some resistance at this 219 level because there's a whole bunch of trap longs above it. Crab apple back to 261. There'll be sellers there, and then 266. What else? Tesla. Tesla in a really big, just a balance here between 395. But you can see the sellers are, they're coming in. If you're a trend line person, you can see that offer just keep moving lower and lower and lower as sellers are competing. Now, there are people who are trapped short under 360 going into the end of this quarter. You can see that's where they come in and bid, right? Oop. Okay. Oh yeah, the 4-hour candle wax. You can see we're just going back and forth here. Around and around, 671 up to that 6820 level. couple of minutes before we open here. See, we're already creeping back above 84. There's VWAP at 90, right? Seller at 90 and a half. Quelle surprise, right? We knew that we were going to be there. So if you're long 76, 78, 80, you should be selling into this. Okay? Longer term traders, if we accept above VWAP, we'll be looking for distribution between 96 and 6,800. IWM. You know what? Nobody has talked about IWM in a long time. Nobody even asks me for quotes on that. Are we back to regular margin now? Yep, back to regular margin. There we go, and we're off. Now, if you want to go long, you're looking for that long. Let's see if it holds the open. Okay? As it drops in, I'm looking for a 92. I'm looking for a look below and fail of 92 and a half. I might have to buy it higher if it's going to break and go. But it's only the first minute of trading. Right? So if you're doing, I bought one at 95 and 3/4, one at 96. Yeah, and I sold them up at 97 and a half, 97 and 3/4. And I'm out one at 98. And I'm flat at 97 and 3/4 because I can see there's a seller there, right? So, quick little trade off the open to see what the order flow's like. You use the micro so you don't waste a lot of money. I'm very curious to see if we can take out the open. If this market opens and can't get underneath the open, it's going to rotate up over the close, and then we're looking at 68.04 and 3/4. But just be patient, because we always want to test that bid. There you go. There you go. Now let's see. Are there buyers at VWAP? Let's see. Who comes into 7-Eleven here? Right? Look below and fail of 92.5. Right? Long 95. Selling 97 and 3/4. Selling 98 and 3/4. And I am flat. Look below and fail of 92 and a half. Long 95. My entry wasn't the best. Right? I snoozed a little bit and I waited for this second candle to open. Right? Instead of buying the red candle, I waited for this candle, saw that it could not get under 94, went long 95 and sold into the strength. Okay? Right? Every trade that we do in our room is based on common sense. Right? There's no nonsense here. Right? Red, if you're listening, y a pas de niaiserie ici. right? There's no monkey business, right? It's very simple. What's the business reason for the trade? That there's no supply under 94. I buy 95. If somebody offers it at 94, 93, it means my inventory is mispriced and I must exit the position and take back what's left of my capital. Right? So there's a business reason for every trade. When the business reason goes away, so do you. So you're not standing around, right? As my buddy Paste would say, you're not standing there on the street holding your underwear going, what the hell happened, right? You don't want that as a trader, right? See, look at the point of control. The point of control just means look at all the buying that is here at the close. That's all short covering. So because everybody's short from down here, they're all short under 64, and they've been adding to it. Hey, Badir, how you doing? Oh, now we wait. Look at the lows of the last three candles. Right? They're giving you clues. Now let's see if we can take out 94. Every time we get close to 94, they pull the offer. So there's a buyer under 94. If that buyer sees size, the buyer is going to drop down to 92.5 so fast it makes your head spin. What does it mean if they see size? If they see a size seller, they'll drop their buy orders to 92.5. If they don't see a size seller, they'll move their buy orders up. Watch, watch, watch. There you go. See? This is where I let the large traders work this area out. Right? Unless you're really fast, you buy 94, you sell 96. Real quick. Boom, 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 boom. In, out. If you're not fast, let the large traders work this out. Right? If you're building a long position, you're building a 94, 96 long, your danger zone, like the bad song, is 93, and your out is 92.5. And you want to be selling into this strength. So if you're long 94, 95, sell them like you stole them. Right? Sell them like you stole them, my friends. Because you're in a little bracketed range here. Right? You're in a little distribution balance. Remember I said all the inventories under 86 were selling it at 94, so they're making a profit. They don't have to sell it at 68.08. Right? If you got 1,000 contracts long at an 80 average and you're selling them at 92 to 96, you're whistling Dixie, right? You're laughing. So that's what this is. This is a distribution cost basis. This is the cost basis of where the large traders are selling the supply that they bought under 67.86. That's why it's choppy. See? Back and forth, back and forth. Nice and slow, see? That's the way to do it. Now, if we run out of buyers over 91, we're going to put it back on sale and come down to that 85 area. Definitely. It's a barcode, right? I mean, the candles are big enough that you can trade it, but it's choppy. So let's see who comes into the store now, right? If we hold price steady over 92, it's going to bring in buyers because people love to stand in line, right? If you can hold price steady, the buyers will come in. But you need the order flow to hold it steady. Sometimes you got to put it on sale to spark up interest, right? But it's just like a nightclub, right? You put a couple of people in the line Put a couple of pretty girls at the front of the line. Everybody, next thing you know, you got a lineup of 300 people. I did it every night. Open the nightclub at 9, start a lineup at 10. The club's empty. By 11 o'clock, the club's full. If we take out 6801, it's going to run some stops. And yeah, there's the sellers there, right there again. Right, so your sellers are here, just at 6,800. Nice big round number. I did work at a nightclub from 1988 to 1992. I've worked at a few nightclubs. In Vancouver and in Hawaii. And Saskatchewan. Do I think the oil news at 10 o'clock has any impact? It may, S-Pill. Do we have oil news at 10 o'clock? I didn't even know. Yeah, I'm like a vampire, man. I've lived a lot of different lives. Hawaii was great. I used to work at a place called The Wave in Waikiki. Yeah, the tail end of the 80s. So the only way to trade this chop, right? It's hard to go position long in distribution. I'd much rather go position long in accumulation. So I would just sit and wait for another look below and fail of 67.92, or wait for a look above and fail of 68.09 half. I hate trading in the middle, but we are going to go tickle that stop right there. That's the next area of interest. Right now, if we've got enough people short under 84 and they added to their short at 96, eventually they're going to go, you know what? We got to cover, man. And then you'll get that nice big green candle. Let's see what happens. It's like watching paint dry, isn't it? I just have nothing. I've just been quiet. Can you guys hear me? Hopefully this headset's still working. Anyone? Yep. Okay, cool. Oof. No trade for me right now. I wouldn't be looking for a long right now, my friend. Maybe a look below and fail of 92.5 if there's buyers. and you know that there's a seller at 6,800, right? So for example, if you're buying this, you know, if you're buying 94, 95, right, your stop is 92 and a half, and you know that there's going to be a seller at 96, 97, get your sell orders out, and your risk is 92 and a half if you're long here, right? And if we take out VWAP, then your trade doesn't make sense anymore, right? So there's the look below, but I need it to fail. So right now, I wouldn't go long until we get back up over 93, right? You're not getting my money until you show me that people are willing to pay 93, 93 quarter. See what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? You want it to look below 92 and a half, the sell orders to be done, the market to come back up. Then you know the sell orders are complete. No problem. Right? This trade is the oldest trade in the world. It's based on the fact that the sell orders are done and the price is going to rotate higher. If not, what did I say 5 minutes ago? I said we're going to come back down to that 85, 86 level, right? Because we got to put it on sale. See? So now if you're short the market, say at 90, you're okay as long as we're underneath 91. But if we're not, if we reclaim 92, then there's a little bit of trouble, right? There's a bit of trouble. So you need that seller to step in there. Wait for the next candle to open. If the next candle opens, but you got to have that seller. That seller is there. If you lose that seller, you've lost your backup in the in the fight. Okay? So there's that next candle. If you are short, get your bids in because you're shorting right before cost basis. See? Boom. There's the look below and fail. That's the one you want. You flush inventory out. Now let's see if it holds 92 and a half. If we've gotten enough people short under 92 and a half, there you go, right? And you're long 92, 93. Make sure you put your sell orders out. This is a difficult market to trade, especially off the open. Right? If you're getting chopped up a lot, just let it do its thing. Right? If you find that you went short, then you went long and you got chopped, just wait. You want to wait for the edge, and you want to wait for the edge for it to come down here to that 84 level. Don't screw with it in the middle. Let the large traders figure this area out. And you want, because that didn't work, right? And we talked about this in the morning session. That didn't work. So what you're doing is you're waiting for that. Right? And if that doesn't happen, wait till it clears 93, 94 again. And you know now the sellers are at 96. Right? Just leave it alone now. If you've traded long, you've traded short, and you've gotten chopped up, leave it. Don't screw around with it in the middle. Wait till it comes to the edge. See? All depends on the order flow, Jiraj. Remember what we talked about on our call yesterday? Right? There is a war going on. So the order flow, right? You're going to every instance is going to be different, right? Because the order flow is not reliable in times of distress. You know what I'm saying? Let it go under 84 and don't buy it until it comes back up over 85, 86, and you can take 86 back up to 69, 67, 90. If you're short, you're looking for the point of control at 80. Let the next candle show you that the offers are done under 84. Let the market show you what it's doing, right? Otherwise, you're too eager to trade and you're going to get into a lot of trouble, right? These candles are big. These ranges are even bigger, right? That's why I always recommend that new traders don't screw around with the open. Wait. I would, it's a 23-hour market. Trade Globex because it's slower and the agenda is a lot easier. You can make a lot of money trading Globex. We have people who trade Globex and make 5, 10 grand a day. You know, it's possible. See how we found the seller? What did I tell you? Don't go long until we clear that white line because the seller is there. So if you had bought 84 and you didn't sell 85, well, you got stopped out, right? Wait for the next candle. Be smart. To hell with patience. Be smart. Patience means nothing. Being smart and being crafty is what's needed in this business because you have limited resources. You can't be offside 200 grand in a trade. Right? You can't be offside $20,000. It's not how the world works, right? If you got a $2,000 account. Right? I see sellers at 86. Now I'm seeing sellers at 84. The next candle is going to open in 20 minutes, and I bet you there's going to be sellers at 83, 82. Look, there they are. Boom, 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 boom. Very easy to blow up accounts here. Right? This is very easy to blow up your account. Just by adding to losers, you can be down a massive amount of capital. The market is now looking for the bid. If you're not short, let it. Let the large traders come in and show you where the buying is. Do not execute unless it's at an edge. If you don't know what an edge is, come into our trading room at Trading Syndicate, jump off your wallet, pay the 20 bucks. It's not that much, right? Yeah, see, if you make money on the way up, you lose it on the way down, right? You're over trading. The other thing is you got to know you make some money, keep the money that you made, right? Don't let your ego outpace your level of skill. This is a big range two-sided market. So you need a lot of capital to trade both ways and you need a lot of skill. So if you're up $5, $6, $7, $800 and you give that all back, that's bad business, my friends. That's bad business. You know? So we came into that cost basis. Now let's see if we can lift this market over 85. If you're long, sell them like you stole them, my friends. Sell them like you stole them. Because this market is not going to wait for you to sell. They're not going to go, "Hi, would you like to sell?" right? Right? You ever see those shows with the guys in the pit? You know, they're like, they trade like ludicrous, right? Right? I'm long 84, and I'm selling them like I stole the Ferrari, baby. Thank you very much. Oh, yes, and I'm flat. Done. Beautiful. Woo! That's the trade I was waiting for. Right? Long 84, 85, selling 88, and I was lucky to get some 90, 91 prints. There's that short bid. That's what I was waiting for. I took that with minis, and I'm done for the day now. Now, will I trade again? I'll trade the micro while I'm on with you guys. Right? But I'm done. I'm not going to. The money I just made, there's no chance in hell I'm going to give that back. Right? Those are earnings of the business for the day. So if you had a store and you sold 100 pairs of shoes or 25 sets of tires, are you going to take the money and go to the casino and bet it all on red or black? No, you're going to take the money and go to the bank. Okay? Right? There's a lot of people out there that say that you should press your edge. And if you are a consistently profitable trader who is a professional and has a trade plan and risk management, trade management, if you have all those things, then go ahead. Right? You can press your edge. But if you're just learning, you don't have an edge, so you don't know what the hell you're pressing. You're pressing everything. You're pressing up against this, you're pressing up against that, you're being rude. Right? Right? There's nothing for you to press. Okay, and a good thing too. Yeah, there are no hidden charges in the monthly fee of our room like other rooms. I didn't even know other rooms had that. Right? There's no extra charges, none of that stuff. Make your money, take your money, and enjoy the rest of your day. You're a gamer? I haven't, the last time I played a video game, I think was Galaga at the arcade. That's when you could smoke at the video arcade and hang out with all the bad kids. Like that's the last time I played a video game. It's not a question of allowing. They will only sell under 64 if they have to, S-Pill. Does that make sense, S-Pill? You understand? right? And they don't care about your relief, right? This isn't UNICEF, right? They don't care about your relief. They know if you're short. SPIL, if I know that you're short at 84, when the price gets down to 84, I'll put, if this was a stock, and I know that you're short size under 84, I'll put 1,000,000 shares on the bid at 84 and a half. And I'll pull the offers and I'll make you pay 88, 89, 90. And I'll squeeze you until I get every last drop of blood out of you. Right? This is a war, my friend. There's no relief, there's no it's not like cricket. Where you got a nice bunch of nice young gentlemen running around in these white waiter uniforms. This is a battle. And if you don't know what you're doing, right? They're going to rip your face off and eat it in front of you and laugh. Right? This is a dirty, dirty business when it comes to people knowing. When you know that somebody is trapped, it is your moral obligation to put them in the poorhouse. Right? So once you change your mode of thinking, right? It's battle stations, brother. It's battle stations. Right? When I was buying in shorts and I was on the trade desk, we'd take a stock from $5 up to 25. I'd trap people short at 10, trap them at 15. I'd buy them in at 25. You could hear the screams, right? I'm buying you in 100,000 shares at $25. You're offside. $10, $15 on 100,000 shares. You could hear the screams. They go to buy it at 25. I raise the price to 26. They go to buy it at 26. I jack the price up to 27. I put a 26 bid in for 1,000,000 shares. I can hear the screams on the other side of the phone. That's a beautiful thing. One of my clients, we got a clearing firm. Look at that. Ho, ho, ho. Hello. What did I tell you about when the shorts come covering? There you go. That's exactly what I was talking about just now. We got everybody short under 84. They added to it. Right? Yeah, psychology, unfortunately, right? That's the problem. New shorts, yeah, you got the new suckers, right? The smart money shorts cover under 79 down here. The dumb money short 79, add at 84, add at 92. Then they go, excuse my language, oh fuck, and go to try and cover. And next thing you know, we rip the price up to 18, right? We did this, one of my old clients and I, we actually bankrupted a clearing firm because we got them so short on one of his deals and we just jammed it up their ass, right? And we put a clearing firm out of business, right? That's what this business is like, right? So don't get it twisted, right? There's no relief, right? There's no aid worker coming from you, right? That's why you eat what you kill in this business. Now we're coming back under 68.09, and it's going to be, we're looking for bids at 68.01. Okay? This market is not going to get any easier to trade. That's what I'm telling the folks that are joining us on YouTube. Come into our room and learn. Pay attention, right? And learn. Take only the trades that are good trades, the trades that make sense, the trades that make good business sense, right? So you have to do that. Otherwise, you know, if you were short at 92, average it up at 6,800. Well, at 68, 12, 16, you've blown up your account. And that happens in a span of what, 2-3 minutes? Right? So, just so you know, brother, right? This is a market that you got to have eyes in the back of your head. Don't be lazy, don't be complacent, don't be greedy. Those are all things that are going to you're going to get your face ripped off. Ask any large trader when they hear that somebody's short, oh my god. If they know somebody's trapped long, oh, they all start shorting. Right? It's not a genteel business at all. All right. Oof. So folks, remember, 11 o'clock, we're going to have an execution class. Okay? We're going to have an execution class, and we're going to be talking about these concepts in depth. Okay? So I usually do like an hour and a half on these sessions, but my voice is kind of a little bad. So I'll be on for another 10 minutes or so. Let's see what it does. We'll let you guys go a little bit early. Folks, if you're signing up for the Trading Syndicate, remember we're running. You can come into the room for 3 days. And you can learn. They were long silver. They were buying physical silver, putting it on private jets, and flying it to Switzerland. They cornered the market so much that the exchange raised margin rates and bankrupted them. Just like they raised margin rates, remember, was it a month ago when silver was running? Remember they jacked up the margin rates and crashed the market? They've got to do that because the member firms, they get so short, you're going to have bankruptcies all over the street. So that's when the exchanges step in and put the brakes on stuff, right? Because remember, the people who police trading and the markets are the people who own the brokerage firms, right? Remember, these are self-regulating organizations, SROs, right? So it's the foxes guarding the henhouse. And they don't want to see themselves go underneath. They don't want to see firms get, get liquidated and all that stuff. Yeah, I haven't followed the whole silver thing very much. Or gold, really. All I know is I have a lot of old clients who are probably in their 70s and 80s, and they've been gold bugs for 40 years. And they were talking about $5,000 gold. Everybody was laughing at them 30 years ago. So I hope they're still alive and they cashed in. It's been a long time. They've been yeah, that's if they're still long, right? If they're still long, Alexander, they're laughing. I hope there's. But these are guys who are like in their 50s and 60s 30 years ago, so I don't know if they're still alive. But they're like, gold's going to be $5,000 one day. And people are like, that's okay. I'm just going to buy AOL. It was a very funny time in the world. Okay. Nice big rotation. If we accept under 92, we'll look for 88 and then 84. Let's see where the next rotation comes in, folks. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting time in the world. Do yourself a favor. We will also be doing what I'm also working on, folks. I'm working on classes on investing using common sense. Now, there's a lot of people who teach long-term trading, long-term investing. I will teach you how to tear apart a company in 30 seconds to know whether or not you should be buying the stock. And if you do, we can couple that with what we teach in trading to tell you where to get in, where to wait for your trade, so you're not getting overcharged for the stock you buy. It's going to be something that I introduce. Um, I've been working on it for a while. My health was kind of up and down, so I just was concentrating on the one-on-one trade coaching. But for those of you who are interested in learning on how to invest, if you want to invest um, and look at companies the way that somebody actually creates companies and takes them public, this is for you. This is how, and because all we care about is, you know, when I was trading for the guy called the Penguin, I'd say, hey, the stock's trading at $5. It's pretty liquid. It's trading 23 to $30 million a day, which was a lot of money back then. He'd go, can we get some position? It's $5. Go see if they'll sell us. Go ask these idiots if they'll sell us 1 million shares at $2. Right? Stock's trading at $5. Go to the company, go to one of their shareholders, and see if they'll sell 1 million shares at $2. That's how we do business. I do teach you how to swing trade, David. We'll be talking about that in 45 minutes in the room. Right? So markets sell off, Avalon, shorts come in and cover. Right? Then wholesale longs build a position on top. It's the same thing over and over and over again. The continuation is caused by price stability. So any of you who are interested on the investing part of this, reach out and DM me. Let me know that you're interested. Right? And I've got it all basically put together. It's just a matter of putting it out. And right now it's just kind of chopping around. I don't really see a clear trade. Alrighty, folks. I am going to let you go a little early. I'm going to go save my voice. We'll see you all in 45 minutes at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Okay. And we will have that in the room. I will put Please bring your questions. It will be recorded. Thank you, everyone. Thank you on YouTube for joining us. If you need any help, reach out. I am around. And I'm JJ. I'm vwaptrader1 on X. And this is tradingsyndicate.org. Thank you, everyone. See you in 45 minutes. Bye for now. Stay out of trouble, okay? Don't take candy from strange market makers.